Hi guys, I am back again, third time lucky, so give me thumbs up if this sounds better. I'm doing this from my phone, so we've got a slightly different angle this morning, but you'll be able to see my bowl, which is perfect, and you can see my lovely apron that Daniel did, so that's very cute. So I'm hoping you guys are going to come back and realize I'm still here. Good, we got some thumbs up. I have no idea what the problem is this morning, so thank you so much for being patient with me. Is that better? Lindsay says it's better. I've got a lot of thumbs up. That's good. Okay, so we'll go low tech and we'll do it this way this morning. Hi Elizabeth, it's better. Is it better, Helen? Perfect. Okay, good. Lizette says hi. Hi, it's much better. Okay, good. I have no idea why that is. Anybody that's techie here that wants to help me out, that would be amazing. Right. Hi again, Elsie and Megan. And hi, Ed. It's better. Pam. Good, good. And John. Perfect. Bunny. Amazing. Right. Oh, I'm looking up here now. Okay. Hi, Poppy and Izzy. Perfect. Third time lucky. Absolutely. It's much better. Good. So we'll start again. Good morning and welcome to Blueberry Muffins. And now you're going to get a real close-up. Look how gorgeous that is there. And look how yummy they look right in the middle. All those beautiful, beautiful colours. Hi, Rose. Is it much better? Are they okay? Good. Yeah. You do want to hear a bit for cooking. You will be able to watch a bit. So much better. Can you have another shout out? Alice, of course you can. Everybody's going to get a shout out. Ben says it's better. Mia is here. Fiona's back. Brilliant. Hi Adele, you're cooking with mummy. That's amazing. And Bethan and Grace. Let's get started. Hi Flavia. And Rian, amazing. Okay, so I'm just going to wait a bit because I know there was like 160 or something of you, and I know some of you are coming back on. It's Eden's first time. Fantastic. Hi, Eden. And it's Betty. Say Better. Say Hattie and Dora. Good. Beatrice. Hi. Amazing. Good. I'm glad it's working. Hi, Lizzie and Sophie and Casey Lee. The sound is perfect. Lizette. Yes, it's 115 mils in butter. Yeah. Don't worry about. Normally, it's liquid you measure in milliliters. So because we're going to melt the butter, that's why I put it in milliliters. But as a rough guide, grams and milliliters are the same. Okay. It's so much clearer, Matt. Amazing. Hi, Ledger is back. That is fantastic. And who else have I got here? Isabella and Neve. Hooray, is it working now, Ali? That's brilliant. Hi, Victor and Dennis and Mummy. Is Mummy doing all the washing up here? Good. And I've got Zoe and Connie's first time. Hi, Connie. The perfect one to come and make muffins together. Annika says it's better. Good. So I think we're all okay. So if anything happens, you know you can give me the sad face, which we don't like. Hi, Holly and William and Hannah. You're making progress with the recipe. Good. That's what I liked. Esme's ready. Everybody's excited. Who have I done missed out here? Addie is looking forward to it and Alexandra. Okay, so we've not got as many people as before, but if you're watching this on replay, it's fine because it will be out later. Hi, Francesca and Dylan and Franklin. You're doing rhubarb. Rhubarb muffins. Rhubarb and ginger would be nice, actually. You could put some ginger in there. Quick question, can you use your pinwheel bread recipe to make normal bread? Yes, you can. We're going to do some more bread, don't worry. Right, and hi Becca and Harry and Arian and Keshav. Gosh, you've got a lot of them in Milton Keynes. Hi, Andrea's back. Fantastic. Can I turn the phone for landscape? I can. I'm not sure that will help you actually because then it chops off. You won't be able to kind of see all of me. So I've put it this way. I will make sure that I move stuff into your view. Do not worry. Yasmin and Lena and Emily and Ava. Fantastic. Good. Well, I think looks like most of you, not everybody, but most of you are back. So I will run through. It's you and your daughter's first time, Claire. Well, thank you for joining us. That's amazing. Good. So I'm just going to run through very quickly the ingredients that you need. You're going to make the blueberry with the no lemon glaze. Don't need any glaze at all. It's just literally like this. These are all the beautiful blueberries. And you can see this is why I say they're magic because you get purple and you get blue and you get pink and all these amazing colours. You've got tinned pineapple and peach. Maybe peach, I think. If you've got any other fresh fruit like berries or frozen berries for smoothies, I would put those in instead, okay? Hi, Estella. Hi, Renee. You're back. I'm pleased that you've been bearing with me and patient. I promise this recipe is worth it, okay? Good. Thank you for persevering. Thank you for persevering, Chloe. I know. Perfect. So let me just run through very briefly what you need so you can get all your stuff out. If I've missed you out on a shout out, I'm coming back. Do not worry. So you're going to need some self-raising flour. Mine's in a bag, so I've got a little hole. So that's my tip. If it's leaking over your cupboard, put it in a plastic bag. If you've got plain flour, just get some baking powder. That's perfect. I've got some caster sugar, and again, if you haven't got caster sugar, just some granulated sugar or something like that. Avina, you excited to bake? I am too, and Melissa and Sydney. So those are my dry ingredients. And then for my wet, I'm going to melt my butter. So I've got a little saucepan here, but you can do it in the microwave, or you could use, and obviously if you're not using dairy, you could use pure, but you can use oil as well. And I've got some milk. So again, you can use Oatly or something like that. And then I've got a couple of eggs that we're going to crack, okay? So again, you can use an egg replacer, or you can use a chia or flax egg. Hi Ruby, you can't see me so well, but you can it should be fine. I'm looking at myself in the screen, so I think you can get all of me. I'm going to stand up in a minute. I'm just looking close so I can give you all the shout outs. Hi Atifa, Mustafa, it's your first time too. Okay, so no picture, Amanda. Oh, is anybody else not? Definitely, I think it might be you, because I'm looking on another screen and it's all there. Oh, you say you can hear me but not see me as well. How weird is that? You are back. It's your first. It's better you can see me. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm just doing it on the phone.
Very fuzzy.
Yeah. I think maybe just turn it off. Turn your other one. Okay. All right. So I've got my IT expert here and we're struggling a bit. You can't see me either. It looks fine because I can see it. I'm watching it on another screen just to double check. You can see and hear me. Okay. It might be you. I don't know. There are some days it just seems to be where everybody has a bit of a problem with their Wi-Fi. So anyway, let's persevere, because you will be able to hear or see, or this will be like cooking as a challenge, because I always say we use all our senses. You can see. Good. Okay. So it might just be a couple of you that can't see. It might just be you. But do not panic. It's coming up on replay on Facebook and also on YouTube. Okay. Perfect. Good. So those are all the things you need. And then obviously your blueberries. I've got some frozen ones here. And I just put them in a bowl, because you can, in a glass bowl, so you can see those amazing colours. You can use fresh. If you've got some other berries, like the mixed berries, whatever you use for smoothies, that would be great. Like I said, if you want to do maybe banana, or you want to do chopped up apple and raisin or cinnamon or something, that's fine. Some of you I know want to put some chocolate chunks in. I think it's delicious with fruit, because the fruit is what gives it the sweetness and makes it really moist. I'll cut down on the sugar. Okay, I'm going to cover all of the ingredients in a minute. I'm just getting you to get everything set out. Yeah, you can try bananas, Andrea, whatever you want really. I want to see everything that everybody does and see all the different varieties. Perfect. You can see me. Good. Now, what else you're going to need? You're going to need a nice mixing bowl and a spoon. This one's a bit like my blueberry spoon today. It's a bit like this one, isn't it? It's cool. So I've got a spoon and a bowl. And then I'm going to have a jug to pour all the wet stuff. Hi, Millie. You can see. Perfect. Okay, all good.
Question.
Fine. What's the question? Right, better fresh or frozen? It really doesn't matter. If they're really nice and firm when they're fresh, they look really pretty when you stir them in, you fold them in gently. The frozen ones, as you can see here, that's why I put them in the bowl. They tend to, as they defrost, they've got a little bit of liquid, and the colour, like if I take one here and I kind of rub it on my hand, can you see you get that amazing colour? You can use it like a lipstick. So that's why this colour, you get a little bit more colour going through the cake mix. It's personal preference. It just means when you can use frozen, that you can use them all year round. You don't need to wait until they're seasonal, okay? Perfect. Right, so, and the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about, I've had a lot of questions about this week, are muffin tins, okay? So you're going to need some tins to bake in. Now, you know that I love silicone, and I am going to put these up on the Amazon shopping list so you can have them. So these are regular fairy cake size, and these are the small ones. So you make like 6 of these or 12 of these on a tray. So as long as it's 2 trays, it doesn't matter. If you've got the other more flimsy silicone like this is the one I made it this morning, you will find that it's a bit hard to carry it. Can you see, like that, to the oven? So just get yourself a baking tray and just put it on a tray so it's easier to hold, okay? Now, if you haven't got those and you've got the metal ones, then just maybe line them with some baking paper or some little cupcake cases or something like that, okay? So, if we've all got our kits, and we've all got our aprons on and washed our hands, I think we're ready to go. So, good. Perfect. Right. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start with melting our butter. Okay, just to get that going. Hi, Laura and Louie, you're going to make them later. That's fine, so you can watch. So I'm going to melt my butter in a saucepan. So I'm going to pop that saucepan on my scales. And if you've got scales, what you notice, the electric scales, is there are different, so you've got your on-off button, and you've also got a button that says unit. So when you keep pressing that button, it will change the unit, and you can weigh in milliliters as well. So those questions about how much butter, I can actually weigh my butter in milliliters if I wanted to, but as a rough guide, it's about the same. So we're going to use 115 milliliters. So I'm going to pop 115 in here, and we're just going to cut it into your saucepan, or put it in a little bowl if you're putting it in the microwave, okay? And then we're going to melt that while we start, okay? So I'm just cutting up my butter. So you guys are doing this with me. And remember, if you've got one of these nice packets of butter, I'm not sure I have, this one isn't. Sometimes they have the lines on the side that show you 50 milliliters, 50 grams, and then you know roughly how much to do, okay? Perfect. So I'm just gonna take that, hi Jasmine, and I'm gonna pop that on my hob and get that melted while we start with the other bits. Okay, so you can go, and if you've got your grown-ups helping you in the kitchen, go and send them off to melt your butter or something, okay? Good. Hi Molly and Emily. Oh, okay, that's good. Thank you, Gemma. So Gemma says if anybody can't see me, go off the page and come back on and it should be fine. Perfect. Thank you for that top tip. Good. Right. You're very excited. I'm very excited too. Right. So while my butter is melting, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the dry ingredients. So today is a good test of what is wet and what is dry, okay? Can I just recap the measurements? Yes. So I've just put 115 grams or 115 milliliters, it's about the same, of butter in a saucepan, and I'm just melting it. So you can put it in a little bowl and put it in the microwave if you want to. If you don't want to use butter and you want to use oil, just measure out 115 of oil, okay? So it's up to you. So if I just show you this, I've just got it in my pan. Oops, I don't want to spill it anywhere. And you can see I'm just melting it there. So I'm just going to leave that down for a minute. It won't take very long. Okay. So you want to put your scales on, put your bowl on your scales. Make sure it's on G for grams, because we're going to weigh out our dry stuff now. And then we're going to weigh in our flour. And I'm using self-raising flour. If you've got plain, just add a little bit of baking powder. And I'm going to take this out of the way so you can see, ooh, throwing muffins around. We don't want to waste those, do we? So I'm going to put in 225 grams, okay, of flour. So let's all do that together. So we're putting all of our dry things in. And you don't want to weigh too much or they'll be too dry. So definitely, this is good maths practice on a Saturday morning. Get it spot on for me, 225, okay? There we go. Right, cool, right. No, Jasmine, it's fine. That's why I'm melting it now. It doesn't need to be really, really cool, but I'm going to leave it to one side. So it should be nearly done. Mine's nearly done. I had it on a low heat. So, right. So if we've got all of our flour in, that's all you need. Just 225 grams of flour in there. And then when you guys are ready, you're just going to press that little button. That's why I love these electric scales. If you press that on-off switch, it's often got a little word that says tare. And tare just means like reset. So if you just press that button when your bowl's still on it, it will forget about all of the flour. And then we don't need to do any complicated maths and we can just weigh in our sugar. Okay? Right. So what we're going to add in now is 100 grams of sugar. So I've cut this right down, this recipe. So those of you that are putting lovely sweet fruit in, or even chocolate chips, I promise it's going to be fine, okay? So I've got nearly 100. My sugar's very lumpy for some reason, so if you get some big lumps in, we're going to mix them out, okay? Leica has turned on the hob by herself. That is brilliant. That's what I like to see. Very, very good. We did a session last week for some of the grown-ups about teaching your kids to cook so that the grown-ups can feel confident, because I know that you're amazing chefs, but they don't always know. So there's my butter, and I've just melted it, so I'm not going to use it right yet, so I'm just going to put it to one side. So if you've melted your butter, just again, put it to one side somewhere safe. Okay. And then all I've got is just my flour and my sugar in there, and I'm just going to give it a little stir, so just mix it in so that it's all well combined, okay? So what have you got now? So in here, I've just got my sugar, yes. So I've got 225 grams of self-raising flour and 100 grams of caster sugar, okay? That's all there is, just in there, okay? Perfect. And then I've melted my butter. So give me a thumbs up when everybody's with me and we're good to go. How much sugar, Pavan? It's 100 grams, okay? 100 grams of sugar, 225 of flour, and I've just mixed in my dry ingredients. Now, for anybody that's using fresh blueberries, What you can do, I like to do this, is you can play hide and seek with your blueberries. So you can tip your blueberries in here and give them a gentle fold. And what you'll find, if I show you on a frozen one, there's always like a little hole. Can you see at the top and at the bottom of the blueberry? And when you cover them with flour, I'll do a little bit with this one, they kind of fill in the holes. It's quite cute. So I'm not going to do that with my frozen ones, and there's a reason why. But if you've got fresh and you want to put them in your flour and give them a gentle mix, you can do that now. But I think most of us are using frozen. All good. Lovely. Lots of thumbs up. Okay, so that's my dry. So I'm going to put my dry stuff to one side. And now we're going to do the wet. So for those of you that were asking me about the butter, this is where it happens. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour in my milk. Now, if you've got a jug, you'll notice that you've got all these lovely lines up the side. So you can use that to measure, but it's a bit hard sometimes to see it on the eye. So I'm still going to put it on my scales. This time when we turn it on, you remember that we do our measuring in milliliters. So make sure it's on ml for milliliters. And then we're going to pour in 115 milliliters of milk. Okay, so do some good pouring, going slow in here. Okay, so that's my milk. What if you're using plain flour, Anita? That's a good question. So just put in a little teaspoon or 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, okay? So you can always make, all that self-raising flour is just plain flour that's got a bit of raising agent, and you can use baking powder for that, okay? So pop your milk into your jug or your Oatly or whatever you're using, okay? You're halving your mix. Yeah, perfect. Oh, nice. I like that. I did actually, this, Karen, was half the mix. So 1 egg. But yeah, it's nice. You'll have 2 different colours. They look so pretty. Great idea. Right. That's all my questions. Okay. So in here I've got my milk, okay? And now what I'm going to do, I won't need my scales anymore, so I'll just put them to one side, is I'm going to add in my butter. So I'm just going to pour all my butter in, and I like doing this because you'll see it splits a bit.
How much milk?
So I've got 115 millilitres of milk, 115, and 115 of butter. So you can see here, because this is a little science experiment, can you see there my butter on the top and my milk at the bottom? Because it's like the oil doesn't like to mix, does it? Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have our eggs. Now, some of us, we've been practicing egg separating, so I'm going to show you how to do it. It doesn't matter. I want it in the jug. I don't want it on the table. Hi, Jacob and Harley. So we're going to give it a tap, tap, tap on the side. So watch me do one. And then if we're practicing the fancy separating, so we keep the yolk and the white separate, I'm going to lift that hat off like that. And then you can see all the white starts to drop into my bowl, doesn't it? Okay. And then I could start to pour carefully from one to the other. And if I was making meringues, or like when we made our chocolate mousse, this is what I'd want. So now I've got all the white in my jug, but I've got that yolk, can you see, in the shell. And I don't actually want it separate, so I'm just going to do that. I will slow down a little bit. I'm just showing you so you can have a practice. But the rest of what you need to do, you can just tap it. Pop your thumbs in. You've made that huge crack there, and you can hear it. You want to eat them now, I know. They need to be a bit better. Put your thumbs in there. Pull it apart in 2, and that egg just plops in, okay? And if you've got eggy hands, go and wash your hands before you come back. So I'm going to come back and do that and mix that in with you. So, how do you watch from the beginning? David, you can just, this is live, so just watch until the end. It won't be very long, and then you can come back and watch it on replay here or on YouTube, okay? So you don't need to separate the eggs, Andrea, but I like to practice it because it's really good practice for the kids. So whenever you bake, I always think it's a really good idea to get them to practice separating, or you can do what I showed you last week with the claw hand where you scoop it out, but it doesn't matter. So basically in here, I've got 115 milliliters of, you can see they've all separated in 2 now. Can you see the egg white and then the milk and then the butter? So I've got 115 milliliters of milk, 115 milliliters of butter, and I've got 2 eggs. And now all I'm going to do, I'm going to use a fork, but it doesn't matter. Oh, Peter said you're awesome. You are my awesome chef. So Peter is making some amazing cakes for his sister's birthday, aren't you? These are frozen berries for a frozen princess. Yes, put the oven on. Sorry, we said that on, this is about the 3rd time we've tried this morning. So put your oven on to 170 fan or 190 regular. So I'm just mixing with a fork like I'm making scrambled eggs. Doesn't look very yummy yet, does it? And I want it all mixed. You know how we had those 3 separate layers? So you want it all together, and you want to pop those egg yolks. So I shouldn't be able to see any whole egg yolks. Good sound, I like scrambling eggs. Hi, Aria. You're excited to make blueberry muffins. Me too. And 200 grams of blueberries. Yes, you are right. You missed last week's bake, so that's fine. Do it with a printed recipe. They're all here online. You can't miss anything. They're all on replay. So I know lots of you have made the recipes more than once, so you can come back and do it. So there's all my stuff there. I'm just going to give myself a clean because I've had a little dribble on the table. Take that. We should clean as we go, or we get in trouble with the grown-ups, don't we? I think if you keep it clean while you're cooking, guys, that would be good practice. And then if the parents want some muffins, you can do a deal and get them to wash up. How about that? Does that sound good? Okay, good. So I've got all of my dry stuff. So in my one bowl here, I've got my sugar and my flour. And in this other bowl, I've got all my wet stuff, which is basically just my eggs, my milk, and my butter. So easy, this recipe. Now, I'll just wait until everybody's here. Hi, Emma, and give me a thumbs up. Oh, your little girl will love doing this. This is so easy because whenever we melt things, and this is how muffins are supposed to be, you don't need a hand mixer or anything like that, although we do love using it, don't we? So it's just a really simple stir. But today, because it's Saturday, we're having a bit of a rest for our muscles, so we don't need to mix it really hard, because when we mix muffins too much, we get really tough muffins and they're not good. So today what we're going to do is something called folding, and it's very nice and gentle. So you want to imagine that you're just being gentle. I'm just showing you here, just like that, gentle. So I don't want to do like that, okay? Muscles another day, promise, like for bread. We want to be gentle, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour all of my wet things in. I'm going to give it, can you see it's starting to separate again? So I want to give it a nice little last minute stir. And then I'm going to pour all of my wet into my dry. And then I'm gently going to do that folding. So I'm going to scrape to the bottom. Can you see the bottom of my bowl? So clean bottoms. Can you see there? Scrape and turn it over. So it won't look very yummy yet. Scrape and turn it over. And you want to just keep doing that. Your wet jug is lumpy. The butter had hardened a bit. Yeah, just give it a little bit of a mix. As long as you can stir it. I mean, this looks quite unpleasant now, doesn't it? So it will be lumpy because with a muffin, you don't worry too much if the last bit of flour isn't mixed in. So I just want to stir it and keep folding it. Because if it was a cake mix, I'd say no lumps at all. So I don't mind if there's a bit of flour. So you can see, so that's mine and I think that's good. So you can still see some lumps and still see some flour. I don't want to pour it too much or I'm pouring it on top of the camera. Okay. And then, yes, if you've got fresh berries, you can add them to the dry ingredients, okay? The reason I don't put the frozen ones in the dry is you'll see that the colour would then start to spread everywhere. And because they're frozen, it means that the cake mix starts to freeze as well. So we want to do it the last minute possible. Hi, Mariella. Right, so for everybody else, you should have a sort of lumpy, not very appetising looking cake mix. And don't worry, we're giving the muscles a rest today. You don't need to beat it crazy. And then we're going to pour in, I've already weighed mine out. So you need about 200 grams of your, if you're using frozen fruit or if you're using bananas or whatever else you're doing, they go in now. If you're adding in chocolate chips, they go in now too. It does taste them. If you've already been eating it, Neve, there won't be anything left. Right, so now, if you're using frozen, it's going to get set quite quickly. I'm going a little too fast. I'm sorry, Jasmine. Okay, I'll slow down a minute. We'll just wait until everybody's good. Well done, Alice. Is Alice concentrating hard? That's good. Okay. Perfect. So I'm just going to wait a minute. So weigh out your fruit. Phoebe is making blueberry and raspberry. Lovely. I love that. They are delicious with raspberry. And whoever had the good idea and is doing half and half, that's a really good one. Or if you're splitting the cake mix between your brother and sister, also a good one. Because you'll see the colours look so different. And these kind of fruits are amazing natural food colour. You know, I showed you this before. This is just a blueberry. And I wanted a fresh one to show you. So normally blueberries are blue on the outside. When we polish them, you can see they're black. But you can see now, look at the colour of my finger. And it really is such an amazing food colouring. So my muffins, because I've left these out for a bit, are probably going to go really purple. So if you're using fresh, what you'll find is your muffin, like the cake bit, will be super white with pops of colour. And if you're using frozen, you'll have that swirly whirly effect. So Peter, this is going to be perfect for a frozen muffin for your sister's birthday, okay? Raspberry and white chocolate sounds good. It's a shame. I'm going to love looking at your photos. It's a shame I can't virtually eat them as well. Perfect. So now we've got our lumpy cake mix. What we're going to do is chuck in all of our fruit like that. And you can see the amazing colour that's left in my bowl. Don't want to waste anything. And again, gently folding. But I want to be gentle here. So now that you've got the fruit, I don't want to pop all those fruits. And you should be able to see if you're using frozen, can you see you're getting that swirly effect? So I don't want to mix it too much. I just want to mix it gently so that I've played hide and seek with all my berries and they're all kind of hidden in there. Yeah? That's all you need to do. So you saw I only did 3 or 4 turns, not a lot. And then you want to get your cake tins out. And I'm going to use these two so you can see the difference, okay? Because people keep asking about what is good silicone and why. So I'm going to do that. And then all you need to do, you can use your big spoon, or usually I take a nice, like a tablespoon, and take a really big heaped teaspoon, tablespoon even, and just plop it into your tins. Now, if you're using metal, you'll have lined them, okay? So I'm just dropping these in. I'll do some here in this tin. These are a bit smaller. And you want them to come nearly to the top, because I like it when they're really big muffins. And you should be able to make at least 12, I reckon, depending on how big your tins are, okay? So I'm just going to keep going here, and I'm going to show you a little trick in a minute. So no finger licking until we got to the end. I'm not licking my fingers. And we're just going to scrape everything out. We don't want to waste anything. And you want to make sure that you've got blueberries in every muffin. Otherwise, that would be a bit sad to have a blueberry muffin with no blueberries in it. So when you get to the bottom and you've got a lot of cake mix, make sure you share them out evenly. So I'm just going to give mine a last scrape. And you can see there, look at that amazing blue colour. It's so fantastic, isn't it? Just from fruit. And I'm not sure you all knew that blueberries make that amazing purple colour. So that is cool. So I'm going to put that to one side. So when you get right to the end, take away your spoon. And before you bowl lick, I wouldn't let you lick all of that. We're going to scrape it all out so we've got everything out. Everything out like that. And then I'm just going to share it amongst the tins that are a bit smaller. Perfect. It looks runny. Don't worry. If you've used, depending on the temperature of your berries, because mine have been out for a bit, if they're really frozen, it will make the mixture kind of seize up, and it will be different. So if you're using fresh berries, then yours is going to be much runnier than mine, okay? If you've got no cake cases, you don't need cake cases if you're doing it in silicone, but if you haven't got any, just take some baking paper and just cut it into a square and just push that down in there. You know those where you go to Starbucks and you buy those muffins and they've got the brown stuff around them? It'll look exactly like that. So I'm just going to I'm going to wash my fingers, okay? You can lick your fingers, but I'm going to wash them. And I don't want to get any blue on my lovely new apron because it's white. Now, I'm going to show you a little tip. If you have got, like I have, silicone, you can, instead of spreading it, because you don't need to spread it, you just give it a bang. And look, it looks just like that. Now, this is the good one that I like to have. This one is much flimsier, and you'll see what happens. Can you see? It doesn't work as well. You have to really pull it tight. And when I lift it, you can see it doesn't really want to be lifted. So what I do with this is I just put one in here, make sure it's nice and flat, and then it's much easier for me to carry that to the oven, okay? Right, so I've made 12. These ones actually a bit bigger. So you should basically make 2 trays, and you can see they're quite full. And I've got lots of little blueberries, so you want to check that you've got them all over. And they look really swirly. So if you've used fresh, yours won't look as swirly as mine, okay? And then we're going to put those straight in the oven on 190 or 170 fan for about 25 minutes. If yours are smaller, so if you're doing little ones, I would say put it on for 20 minutes and check. And I'm going to show you what you need to check for. So I'll bring back my muffins. So when your muffins are in their trays and you're checking them in the oven, they should look nice and golden like this on the top. And if you've got a little cake tester or a toothpick, you're just going to put it into the highest point of the muffin, because you can see the cakes rise like that, because that's what we want to check. And you push it all the way down, take it out, and if the stick comes out clean, then it's going to be done. Fresh is best. Yeah, so you'll see they look different. They will look different. So like I showed you, this is, I mean, you can see here how already I've got a swirly effect. So they're going to come out swirly. And you can see here in the cake mix how you've got all of that blue color. And that's why I love them, because they're sort of blue and pink and purple. They are so magic. Do I bake the thinner silicone with a second baking tray or on its own? I normally put it in on a baking tray just because it's easier, because this is quite a thick mix because I've used frozen berries. But if it's a really liquidy mix, you'll see what happens is like that, and it starts to fold in on itself, and you'll end up spilling half the liquid before you get to the oven. And also when you put it down, then it doesn't sit flat, and you end up with, you know, things baking like here at an angle. So what I do is I put it in the tray, make it nice and flat, so it's super easy for everybody to carry it to the oven, and then easy when you take it out as well. So it's just really for ease. It will get a bit more heat, obviously, because the metal conducts the heat, but it's really just to stop that. But this one, and this is why I love these, so I've done an Amazon shopping list for you, so I know you can get these. This is from the guys that I use. You'll see you have no problem holding these, and they really are much more secure. So you can, there's nothing wrong with any of those other trays. And I know some of you had questions and said, I can't get my muffins out. Often it is the quality of the silicone. It's really tempting to buy something. These are not hugely expensive, but it's tempting to buy something that looks really pretty or is really cheap. And then when it doesn't work, you get frustrated. So trust me, these are amazing. I use these all the time for sweet, savory baking, jellies, ice creams. It goes in the oven, in the freezer, it goes everywhere, in dishwasher. So have a look at these if you want to, and message me with any questions. But metal works absolutely fine too. It just saves. The reason I love these is you can do that. We love that. We love a good bang, and it makes it so much easier, and you don't need to grease it, and you don't need to use any paper cases. It's much easier. So how long does it go in for? The big one's about 25 minutes, but maybe put it on for 20 and just check it like I showed you with the skewer, okay? Could you use a chopstick? Yeah, a chopstick is a bit thick, so you'd make a whopping great hole in the middle. So I would say if you've got like a barbecue skewer or something like that, you can use that. And if not, maybe a toothpick. If you've got a fork or something with a really long prong, you could use that. I mean, if you're really stuck, yeah, use a toothpick, but you'll find that you've got a big hole in the middle of your cake, okay? Oh, perfect, yes. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Now, before everybody shoots off, a couple of quick things to say. The classes are all free. If you've enjoyed the class today or any of the other classes, there's a donate button right at the top of the page. Donate to FareShare, which is a national food charity, which all of you guys voted for. That would be amazing. Yeah, it is an easy recipe. I'm going to be doing, if there's enough of you that want to do it, we're going to do another food quiz tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. So come with your friends, family, whatever. So again, there's another post, you can let me know. And recipes for next week will be going out today. So please check your inbox, check your junk email in case you don't get it. So you will get it by the end of today. Send me your photos in so I can add those to the album. Let me know how you get on. I'd love to see all the colours. So what's really cute is when you've done them and they look pretty like this, open them up. You can see how all the different colours are there. And if you guys are using raspberries and things, you'll have the same. You're going to do the food quiz. That's lovely. So yeah, about 20-25 minutes, you've done it. They're in the oven. They look amazing. Yeah, I know. You're going to have them like for a cup of tea. 11sies, that's the idea. Good. I'm glad you loved it. That's so nice. So I hope I will see lots of you tomorrow for the food quiz. We'll have lots of fun again. You can't wait to eat them. No, I can't either. I've managed to restrain myself and not eat those this morning. Good. We will see you tomorrow. And I'm going to put the link up as well if anybody wants to know about the bits and pieces of the kit that I use. Peter is licking the spoon. That's the best bit, absolutely. Now, I didn't say to you, now that you've got all of this, you can lick this. So I hope you enjoyed, guys. Gas mark, Janice, I'm never so good on gas. I think of 4. 4. It's gas mark 4, okay? Have a good day, guys. Bye, Neve. Bye, everybody. Enjoy your muffins. Take care. Bye.